Hey, how you doing today? I am Tequila Coleman. In today's video, we're going to talk about God is knocking down the house. So I want to show you what the Lord just revealed to me. Let's turn to the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and we're going to read at verse 25. It say, "And Jesus knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And this is where I want you to look at. And every city or house, underline house, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." So, for my standards, those of you who are currently standing for marriage restoration, you're dealing with a prodigal husband or a wife. According to this scripture, this principle, it said, "In every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." The house, when you look it up in a concordance, is referring to the family. And it can also refer to the property, the physical house, okay? If your house is divided against itself, so your prodigal husband or wife is against you, and your belief and, against reconciling, that house is coming down. This is why your spouse is taking you to court. God is allowing this house to fall, okay? Because according to scripture, if the house is divided against itself, it shall not stand. It shall not stand. So God has to allow the house, everything that's divided, He got to allow the house to fall. He has to allow those negative thoughts to fall. He has to allow, the money your spouse is using to take you to court, or the money your spouse is using to, entertain these other woman, other men. He has to allow them to lose their money. That's part of the house falling. Okay, because this is the money is what's creating the division in the home, in this marriage. It's breaching the covenant in the marriage. So God is allowing the house to fall. So don't panic. Don't be moved by what you see before you. Don't be moved that your spouse has filed for a divorce and is trying to take you to court. The house is falling. And while the house is falling, God is building it on the rock. Okay, you just have to get through the in between. The middle is messy. Okay, you are in the middle and it's messy. The middle, it look opposite of what God promised you, but understand and know this house is coming down. It has to fall because it's divided against itself. So everything, all that sand that's in the house, scripture say a house that's built on sand is going to come crashing down, right? It's only the house that's built on a rock that's going to stand the test of time, right? So God has to knock down all of this sand. He has to knock down, like I was saying, the money that's keeping the prodigal behaving, how way they are behaving. He has to knock down what needs to be knocked down so that he can begin to build your house on the rock and it can begin to stand the test of time. So be encouraged in knowing that what you are witnessing in your marriage, okay, this is God knocking the sand down. He's knocking this house down. And for some of you, you might even have to let go of your property. You might have to sell your house. It might just be the house. Like, let's be honest here. The house just might be rooted on bad ground. That house might be rooted on the kingdom of darkness. Okay. It probably was that the house could be like covenant of the kingdom of darkness. Okay. And so if the Lord began to put on your heart to move or sell your home, go ahead and be obedient to it. Go ahead and be obedient to it. He's going to provide, he's going to send provision your way. But understand, house is speaking to the family and it's also speaking to the property itself. Okay? And according to scripture, if the marriage is divided against itself, if you and your spouse isn't walking on one accord and y'all in division, okay, that house is coming down. And this is whatever's going on in your life, that this is how God is knocking that house down, because it's divided against itself. And once he knock it down, he's going to rebuild it. So I say this all the time. Marriage restoration is when you are partnering with God and allowing God to birth the new you. We already know God is going to restore the prodigal, but you also have work to do as well, believing spouse, okay? Because you represent the house as well. So you have to allow God to knock down that hurt and pain. You have to allow God, to teach you your roles as husband and wife, your biblical roles as husband and wife. You got to allow God to knock down old ways of being, old patterns, right? Generational curses, etc., etc. He got to knock all these things down and rebuild you on the rock. That's what's going to stand. That's what's going to help your marriage stand. All right. So I wanted to deliver this word. This is what the Lord revealed to me this morning. I am Tequila Coleman. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.